Algebra 2 Cram, New York State, Algebra 2 Regents, Common Core, Graph of a Logarithmic Function. Question 8, Domain. The odds of someone doing exactly what you tell them to do is pretty slim, but I guarantee that if you cram with me, you'll become an Algebra 2 master. If I could stick every single math student with a syringe containing a healthy dose of eye-opening awareness of their inner mathematical genius, I probably would. So inbox me at memedicine@gmail.com to get your healthy dose of Algebra 2 by ordering the complete exponential and logarithmic function series. You have lots of friends, colleagues, classmates, and/or peers who could use a boost as well, so tell them to inbox me at memedicine@gmail.com so that they too can order the complete Cram session. Let's delve into the question 8, domain of a logarithmic function. The expression log base 3 of 8 minus x is defined for all values of x such that a, x is greater than 8, b, x is less than 8, c, x is greater than or equivalent to 8, or d, x is less than or equivalent to 8. Definitely press pause if you need to, and I'll give you a moment to think. Okay, so hopefully by now you were able to press pause, and if not, that's completely fine. Let's work our way through this. All right, so the expression log base 3 of 8 minus x will have a real value only if 8 minus x is positive, okay? That is, the result or the power is positive. So this expression here has to be positive in order for the expression to have a real value, okay? So in other words, 8 minus x has to be greater than 0. So let's just express that. So 8 minus x has to be positive or greater than 0 in order for it to be defined or have a real versus an imaginary value. If we go ahead and simplify this inequality and add x to both sides of the greater than sign, we get that 8 is greater than x, which is the same thing as saying that x is going to be less than 8. All right, so it looks like our correct answer choice is going to be answer choice B. And if you're still not convinced that this is the correct answer choice, let's attempt to look at this graphically using a graphing calculator. Alternatively, finding the domain using a graphing calculator, well, the table feature on your graphing calculator can be a little tricky. But let's try to simplify it, okay? And the first thing that we're going to do is make a table of values for the function log base 3 of 8 minus x. Okay, so what you're going to do is turn your calculator on, obviously. All right, and you're brought to the home screen. And now, in an effort to graph this function and make a table, we're going to press our y equals button to input our function. All right, so when we do that, we're brought to the y equals or our function screen, and we're brought to y1 to input our first function. So what we're now going to do is press math, alpha, and then press A after you press alpha, and that's going to basically input the logarithm function, where you can specify your base. So what you press after A is 3, and then you're going to hit the right arrow to bring you over here to the parentheses to input your power or your result, and the result obviously is going to be 8 minus x. We press the variable n for x, and then we press our right arrow again to exit the parentheses, and we press enter. Okay, and this brings us to our entire logarithm. Now to go look at the table, what you're going to do is press second graph to open up the table feature. And you're brought to this table here where we have a list of x values and the resultant y values, or dependent variables, okay? Or dependent values or output values. And if you stop at 7, what this seems to suggest is that the domain may be anything with an x value less than or equivalent to 7, because 0 is allowed. For y, you can have an exponent of 0. If you do 8 minus 7, you're going to get 1. And in order to have a result of 1 for a base, you would have had to raise that base to the power of 0. So that's okay. But for everything else, you're getting an error message, okay? But now we're going to go ahead and just hit graph. And if you try to count the hashtags on the x-axis, you're going to see that the graph seems to exist for anything where x is less than 8, okay? So this also corresponds to answer choice B, x is less than 8. All right, so that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck studying, and be sure to order the complete Algebra 2 Cram session or the Logarithmic Exponential series, okay? All right.